Milk Crate Moment podcast. And let me just turn my graphic on here if we can and find the overlay there. At least that. I don't know why we don't have. I don't know
There
why
you go.
we don't have it on today. So, but I'm not going to let that stop us, Sandy. We're just going to go for it. So,
That's right.
welcome today, Sandy Zeiszler. Sandy is you know what? I just got rid of my, I just took it down. Sandy, I'm just going to talk about what I know. I just accidentally closed it. Um, Sandy is a Keap expert. And those of you who've never used Keap or don't know what Keap is used to be called Infusionsoft, which is a marketing software. It's a CRM, automation, order forms, things like that. It's something I use in my business. My level, they still call Infusionsoft or Keap Max or
Max
Classic.
Classic. Yep,
Max
you're in
Classic.
Classic.
Okay. Yeah, except I don't get all the cool features that Keap has, right?
Yep.
So today I asked you if you'd be on my podcast so that you can talk about Keap because number one, I really do enjoy Keap and I like it and I think it's a great software to use. And I know that you're the expert about Keap. So this is how I always like to start though, Sandy. Tell us what your milk crate moment was.
And, I'm being the milk crate moments for my audience, just that, you wanting to quit, deciding not to quit when it's too hard. And I had a hard time even, oh, there we go. The
There we
graphics are
go.
up. It was slow. It's always
I just needed
technology.
a moment, right?
It was ready to quit itself. Quitting before you even get started. And I had a choice going almost now 2 years ago to relaunch my business. And I didn't want to do it. Several people had asked me prior to that, and I said no, flat out said no. And the last person that asked me, I says, okay, what does it look like? So let's look at this again. And so over the last 2 years, yeah, I've wanted to quit. When it gets hard, you're like, oh, I'm not making the money, or this is too hard, or gosh, I have to talk to one more client today, or I didn't get a vacation this year. So, but
Right.
those are the commitments that I've made to make it work hard. I know that when I can put in the time now, I will get to reap those rewards next
And
year.
what I love most about what you said was the fact that all of this stuff was hard and you didn't get a vacation and you do feel like quitting sometimes, right?
Mhm.
I will be honest, I've thought about quitting one time in the last 37 years, right?
Oh,
One time. Um, and it, and I've told my story before and I don't want to get into
mhm.
that and I'll tell it again another time. But when you thought about quitting, it sounded to me like you literally said your people were begging you to get in business.
It
So
sounded like some friends. Yeah. They're like, are you going to start again? Or are you going to do this? Or what are you going to do? Yeah.
so when you thought about quitting after you got started, right? What kept you going?
Sheer determination to make it work. I either had two choices: either be an entrepreneur, work for myself, bring in my own income, or go back into work for somebody else and get laid off yet again, because that's happened
Mm.
multiple times in my life. And I am no longer going to accept that as part of my life.
High five for you, no longer accepting it. Which I don't think people understand that as entrepreneurs, we have that option to
Mhm.
accept what other people are going to give us or decide to decide that we're going to make it our own and do it anyway. So
Mhm.
Sandy, I'm so excited. So um, I want to talk about, we talked about your milk crate moment. It's a great milk crate moment. I think a lot of people have that piece in their business where they want to quit at times. But here's what I know. You have really gone on were you doing Keap when you were trying to get back into business or get into your business?
No, keep. I've been doing LinkedIn training for 12 years and had the opportunity to go to corporate and do some LinkedIn training at a corporate office and some training there, and then got exited out again, handed the pink slip, handed the white box, and
What's in a white box?
you get a white box to put your stuff in and you get walked out the door.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that. I wasn't
Yeah.
asking to be funny. I did
No,
not know
that's
that.
okay. Yeah, you get handed a box, and it's usually a white box because you get your banker's boxes, and those are the white boxes. So you get
Okay.
handed a box to take your stuff out the door.
Wow, that's harsh.
It's harsh. So yeah, or the milk crate or whatever. But yeah, that's what's interesting. So you get exited out. And so now I totally forgot. Oh, making it my own. So I didn't want to because I maybe had burned myself out on LinkedIn training. I still love doing LinkedIn training. It's my passion. I choose that platform over the other social media platforms out there to build professional relationships, but I wanted more for my business and my life because I've got 30 years of computer training and knowledge and people asking me questions because they're asking me anyway. So let me get paid for it. And so that's how
Absolutely.
I started my, looking at other options for my business and found Keap.
So you found Keep, and then honestly, I've been using it for since 2016. So that's what, 6 years,
Hmm.
right? And it's still hard as hell for me. And I sometimes pay other people to do it for me, right? So tell me, did you find it difficult to start with it also?
I think with my technology background and learning and embracing new technology, I'm okay with digging in. I don't find it hard. More what I embraced and why I liked Keep when I was looking for a platform to run my business, my small business, was more the fact that it's very customizable for you. And you have to think outside the box of what you want it to do for you. Because it's not a plug and play, oh, I'm a business coach. So push this button, give me all the tools that business coaches need. Because you're different than the next person. So that's what I really like about it. And I really align myself with other key partners to learn. And I just learned it and
Uh,
take that extra time because I love learning it. So,
well, that's great because I just want it done, right? So which I think most of us do. So I think that that's
yep.
great that you're out there because I know that you also help small business owners who purchase Keep.
Yep.
You help them set it up.
Set
What
it up.
else do you do for them?
So, and for those that aren't familiar with the Keep platform, and like Gene, there's 3 levels. So the Keep Pro kind of gets you in. It has not only text messaging, which Gene now does have in Classic. She can do text messaging, but they made it for smaller business owners instead of having such a robust system because we don't necessarily need that. But you can set up your landing pages, your contact forms that can be integrated with your website if you don't want to set up a landing page in the Keep system. You can do text messaging. And so I help them with that and that sequencing for email marketing, and automation is huge.
Do you have and I mean we didn't talk about this, but do you have your Keep partner link handy? Because people who are not understanding really what Keep is, I would like to give them something where they can go check it out, and look and see all of the things that it has. Because one of the things we're going to talk about today is automation.
Yep. I actually would let me give you my chat, book a call with me. I'm gonna throw
Okay.
that in our private, and
Well,
I would rather give them a
the reason
tour.
I'm asking for the Keep piece,
Okay.
is because I want people to. I know people are going to go searching for it, and I'd
Hmm.
rather them search for it with your link than anybody else's.
Okay. I
Is that
will
okay? And
yeah,
I'll still put up your chat link as well. Okay.
okay. And then, some people might have done the trial. I can give a 14-day trial. I'd like to just talk with people about that. But yeah,
Sure.
let's yeah, here's a trial version. I have that right here.
Okay.
Throw that in the chat too.
All right.
But I encourage you just to talk with me about it too. And sometimes learning new systems can be a challenge.
Right.
And all systems are that way. We, even get a new phone, it takes us years to figure out the new phone and then we get a new one. So we
Exactly.
still don't know what their phones do.
Oh, that one is too long. Do you have a little
Oh,
bit shorter link? I
I will
can't
give
put
you a
that big one in.
way too long.
Yeah, a little bit too long.
1 minute. Let me shorten that, make a tiny URL. Copy, copy. There you go.
All right.
All right, continue on.
Oh, there we go. Thanks. Now,
Much shorter.
yeah, that's a lot shorter. We can get that one in. So if you guys are wanting to look at Keep, well, hold on, I'm gonna Keep.
KEAP.
Use this link. Use this link. There we go. All right. And then I am going to show that there. There we go. Right. So that is a much better link for them to use. And I always say I'm going to put the links in the chat afterwards. I never remember. So
Okay.
I will put them on I will try to write myself a note, links, write links, and make sure you go back to your social media and add these links to your
Mhm.
social media too, please.
I will
Okay,
do that.
so let's talk about automation because I think that,
Mhm.
a lot of what we see nowadays, it's all automated, whether it's with chatbots on Facebook or email marketing. There's so many great features in automation today.
Mhm.
And I know, let's talk about that for a little bit. What do you want people to know about automation on the Keep platform?
When I think I look at automation more than just sending a sequence of emails because yeah, that's the sequence of emails. If you sign up for something, you're going to automatically get 10 emails for the next
Mhm.
10 days. But automation can be so much more like client onboarding. So that stuff that you do repetitively is consistently done so that you're not having to reinvent the wheel every time. So if you have a client onboarding, you need that client to sign a contract. So
You
when
can do
I
all that in Keep. You can automate all of that in Keep.
Yes, you can, and even in your version, you and I need to have a consultation
We
call.
do. We do because those would be great pieces for me
Mhm.
to be able to use
Automate.
because I'm doing
Yep.
it all by hand.
Yeah, there's no reason I was actually just setting up my client yesterday, so she's a fitness coach. So
Mhm.
she's got 3 levels of her coaching. So she goes in, has a discovery call, so you still have to have the human touch with somebody on the phone. Of course, it's on the phone or Zoom. She decides which level the client wants, and she pushes a button in the Keap system. The Keap sends an email to that client, and then it asks them to do several things. It waits until they do that, and then it sends them another email with the steps that she never has to touch. So stuff doesn't get misspelled. You don't waste time typing things. You don't waste time. The client's expecting it. So they'll watch their inbox for it to come.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Um, okay, I think that is a great piece there. So what other things can Keep automation do?
Keep automation. So then I love the other feature besides, obviously the email marketing, but then tasks. I just had a call with a client or a prospect earlier today, and she says, "You know what? I'm not ready. Can you call me in 2 weeks?" What am I going to write that on a piece of post-it note and forget? My calendar, yeah, exactly. And you're going to lose that post-it note because the dog's going to come in and play with your desk, and it's going to stick to his fur and take off, right?
Right,
Or it
right,
lands in the garbage can.
right.
So, I mean, I see cats caught, walking across the streams. What's going to stick to their, fur on those post-it notes, or they get lost and buried. So
Yes.
in the Keep system, I created a task in the Pro version and Max. I created a task with a reminder that says contact Sarah in 2 weeks. And here's the notes I took. I have her contact record. During the call, I typed notes while we were talking and talked about what she needed. And now I remember what I told her, even because I'm not going to remember what I told her in 2 weeks necessarily, or what her specific needs were. We actually, she has a family farm in a little tiny town in Minnesota that my parents lived in for a few years. I'm like, how cool was that? I'll probably remember that little detail, but it's those little details that you want to remember.
And you can do that in the Keep Max Classic, but you can also do that in the Keep Pro?
Yeah, you can do that in Pro. The system's a little bit simplified in the Pro and the Max version. In the Classic, it looks a little different, but it still is in there. You can take notes and you can still add appointment reminders for yourself
Wow, okay, I had no idea. So,
and sales
yes, I
funnels.
will schedule some time on your calendar and gladly would pay for your time to help me get that under control because that sounds like something every business owner should be able to do is to have something automated like that in the pipeline.
And,
So,
yeah, and
so
having a
give us
sales pipeline is important.
give us one more tip on automation when it comes to Keep, and then we're going to give away your freebie, which is pretty flippin' awesome.
One more automation tip would
Yeah.
be even two appointment reminders. You can send appointment reminders. And I know a lot of the programs do that. Um, Keep does the text messaging and sends you appointment reminders, but it also can send when they book something, it'll automatically like send an email. So if a client or prospect books a specific appointment type,
Mhm.
so maybe it's a client, then it can send them a follow-up email, or even send you an email or your assistant. I have people that send their assistants an email. Hey, so and so signed up. Please do X, Y, and Z.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
it set up for a client that she needs IT done. They need IT services for when a new employee starts. So the IT guy needs an email. So we send that to him.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about what the free offer you have. And first of all, I want to say thank you for having a free offer,
You're welcome.
because I think it's really, I think giving away something of value to people when they spend their 15 or 20 minutes watching this is such a treat. So what is it that you have to offer them today?
So the free offer guidebook is 25 things that you can automate in a small business. These are things that I've talked about or in that process, the follow-up, the onboarding, and 25 things that you can do for small business owners. Pick a couple and launch with that, but it'll give you examples that you can use in any platform. Of course, I'm using and referencing the Keap platform, but they can be used for any small business owners, or just like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And I
Right.
want people to think outside the box like you did.
Well, I would not have if you hadn't mentioned it, right?
No.
But but after having this conversation and not really understanding that Keep Max could do that,
Value.
that it's kind of cool. And I kind of want to know what the other 25 is, or the other 22 is. And so I'm
Yep.
definitely going to download your freebie and
Mhm.
look that up and see what else I'm missing out on that I could be automating in my business. This is a year of growth, right?
Correct.
2023 is going to be a year of growth.
Mhm.
And I think if the fastest, easiest way to grow is to automate things you are doing on an ongoing basis.
Mhm.
So you were the perfect person to have on here in December.
We can't scale and grow our business without automation and without systems in place. You just can't you can't scale. It's not possible.
I agree
Unless you
with
want to
you.
work 24/7 and, then
Yeah.
you can do it, but
Who
nobody
wants
wants to
to
do
do
that.
that? Yeah. Who wants to do that?
Mhm.
All right. I always ask this question at the end of the podcast, or video cast, or whatever this is. What is one thing that you um, something you live your life by that you would like to share, or live or run your business by, whatever it is? What inspirational quote do you kind of always go back to time and time again?
Mine is really more just never always learning, finding, what other people are into. I love meeting people, and it's been great with Zoom. I can meet people internationally and ask questions, be curious,
Mhm.
ask, like, I had a call with somebody the other day and they're in Australia. Well, it's summer, or they're getting into summer. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so different. Just something you don't think about on a regular basis. So it's just finding, kind of that ever learning. Pick up a book, pick up a magazine, a trade magazine, look at what other people are doing, and build relationships.
I love that. I love that. Always learn, always keep learning. All
That's what
right, Sandy, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing your milk crate moment. And by the way, milk crate does not mean that I packed a milk crate and left. You know what it stands for?
I don't think I really do.
So my milk crate moment was 2 weeks after I bought my first chocolate store,
Mhm.
and I literally nobody was coming in the door. And I knew that business they were bankrupt when I bought it.
Yep.
Nobody was coming in the door, and 2 weeks in, I literally was sitting on an upside down milk crate in the kitchen, crying my eyes out that I had made
Mhm.
the biggest mistake of my life. My kids weren't gonna go to college. We were gonna
Mhm.
lose our dream home that we had just built, and it was a wonderful, wonderful, awful 20 minutes of going through all of these emotions until I literally had to get my ass up off the milk crate and get to work.
Hmm.
So that's really why I call this milk crate moments.
And it's
That was
it's
my
different
milk
for
crate.
everybody. That's interesting. Yeah. I grew up in the grocery store business, and so we had milk crates. we, we had
So
crates of milk.
it made me think when you said that you're like, oh, like, like it's a white box that they give you to carry your stuff out in. And it's like, like a milk crate. And I'm like, I don't know what yeah, I didn't put it in a milk crate. I was sitting on top of one crying. So thank you so much for being
You're
here. I
welcome. Thanks for
appreciate
having
you
me.
so much. And I will be, oh, wait, is there anything else I was supposed to put in here? We've got
My free
we
offer,
did,
and then the book a
yeah, the
call.
free offer is right here. And I will put that in the chat comments
Yep.
of the video so that everybody can, at least in Facebook, So if you don't go anyplace else, at least look in Facebook, and I'll drop that, and Sandy will drop that in her social media as well.
I will do
Sandy,
that.
thank
Yes.
you. I
You're
appreciate you so
welcome.
much. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.